beautiful people, and welcome back to another Cozy Cora video. Before we get started with anything, don't skip, it's not an ad. Obviously, who would sponsor me? I mean, if you do. This is gonna be a long one, so do me a favor, get yourself a glass of water, get some snacks, do something nice, and stick around because I'm gonna be yapping for a while and I want to make sure you take care of yourself during that time. Let's get into it. I am still here to do the How to Train Your Dragon book / movie / everything else ranking. And when I was planning this video, I was thinking about also adding all of the theme parks, websites, everything. I'm gonna be talking more in depth about the movies and books because there's actual stuff to say about them. I'll give an appropriate amount of thought to everything. Let's begin with the OG, Bada Bing Bada Boom, not book one. It's a children's book, a pictures book. Rashida Cowell wrote this in 1999. I love this, and not only because it sparked my special interest, it just is beautiful and lovely and so well done. I love all the illustrations. I love how she writes the books with the readers in mind. So, quick plot synopsis. Hiccup, seasick. Hiccup's dad, a Viking. We're Vikings. We're not supposed to get seasick. But then, big storm, and everyone gets seasick. And he saves the day, and his dad loves him. It's beautiful. I love it so much. I love the art, like I said. I love the writing style. Rashida Cowell really puts her best side forward with this book, and I understand how it popped off, if I may. A tier, aka flawless. Now we're moving on to book number 1. Released in 2003, Hiccup is now just about 10. The book is about Hiccup becoming a man of sorts. Every generation has to prove themselves worthy to be part of the tribe by doing this. He is tasked with capturing and training a dragon. We have a world where dragons are very real, and it's established that Hiccup has a special relationship with dragons. Not that he has some sort of gift or anything, he just has an interest. He's a little nerd, he likes to watch dragons. He is the only one who really humanizes the dragons. So once when the boys makes fun of Hiccup's dragon, Toothless and Hiccup have a sort of little brother, big brother relationship in this book. Toothless is annoying, whiny, needy, very baby-like behavior, and Hiccup is very frustrated but still caring. He has respect and love for Toothless, unlike most other boys who just see their dragons as pets or working animals, machines. And you can see that very clearly in how Hiccup raises Toothless rather than training him. Meanwhile, the other boys just scream and, expect their dragons to behave and obey. During the trial, Snotlout's dragon attacks Toothless verbally, and then physically, which starts a fight, which means all the boys prove that they are incapable of training their dragons because none of them obeyed. Hiccup is comforted by his friend Fishlikes, who is a main character of the stories. He is not, however, comforted by his father. His father agrees with the rules. He says that this is how Vikings should be, not necessarily in that Hiccup trained his dragon poorly, but everyone showed that they couldn't make their dragons obey, meaning everyone failed the test, meaning everyone has to be banished because they can no longer be part of the tribe. Hiccup speaks up against his father, and he says, "How dare you put your laws above your own son? How dare you be so heartless? I thought you were my father, I thought you loved me." And I think that's a beautiful display of we see how Hiccup raises Toothless with love and care, and then he looked at his father and he expects the same. He's like, why are laws above me? Why I'm breaking the laws and the social norms to raise my dragon the way I think he should be raised? Why aren't you doing the same for me? So Stoic, who is Hiccup's father and also chief of the tribe, is pondering over this. He's like, do I banish my son, or do I break the law in the name of love? While he is pondering, a big, very big dragon shows up, and the Vikings are like, shoot, we don't know how to train this guy. We don't know how to make him obey us because he's so big and so strong and so powerful. So they're like, okay, our way doesn't work. Let's try Hiccup's way. This obviously doesn't work either. The dragon is a big threat. Hiccup is like, dude, he's gonna eat me. Hiccup and this cool new dragon, they have a little chat. Hiccup realizes that he's not gonna be on our side. He is a force to be reckoned with, aka time to murder. So here it is established that Hiccup in the books kill dragons willingly. He can have a conversation with them, he humanizes them, he respects them way more than Hiccup in the movies, and yet Hiccup in the books kill dragons. And then hopefully he'll just like sneeze to death. And the boys are like, you're kind of stupid for that, but hey, let's try it. And sort of a last breath, the Green Death eats Hiccup, and Hiccup is like, shit. Not great situation. Throughout the book, Toothless has been very adamant. Like, he's like, humans have enslaved dragons. Dragons will never have sympathy for humans. We don't like you. I don't like you. This is our way. This is our culture. I am not going to change for you. However, throughout the book, Hiccup has broken his social norms to show respect to Toothless, and now at the end of the book, Toothless is showing respect for Hiccup, and shows that by, again, tickling the dragon in the nose. It's very goofy, it's very iconic, but anyway. Hiccup gets like lodged out of the dragon's throat when he sneezes, which is a huge moment because A, Hiccup is saved, and B, Toothless saved his life. And this, like after that, the dragon explodes, and it's very, like, Hiccup wakes up in his bed, and it's like almost frame for frame how the first movie ends, and that Hiccup wakes up from this big accident of Toothless sacrificing himself. Hiccup runs out, and instead of seeing dragons fully integrated into society, he sees them giving a Viking funeral to Toothless. Hiccup is like, you dumb bitches, he's not dead, he's sleeping, you idiots. So Toothless is fine, don't worry. But it shows in a way more beautiful and metaphorical sense that the Vikings have humanized the dragons. And again, in the movies, it shows very unpoetically and quite tragically how the humans have domesticated dragons. In the movies, when Hiccup runs out, he's like, you're sleeping on my floor, yay! And in the books, he's like, oh, you're giving him the highest honor, putting him in our version of heaven. You're giving him a funeral only worthy for kings and great warriors and chiefs, which I think is the main thing the movies are lacking. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful book. Hiccup is kind of stupid sometimes. You could say that's a plot hole. You could say he's a flawed character. Is the book flawless? I don't know. Basically no one knows about the picture book. So book number 1 is basically the book that kickstarted everything, and I don't really see it. I can see, looking back, how beautiful and amazingly written the book is, but like, oh, this is the book everyone read back in 2003 and gave all their money to and made it a bestseller, and this is what really sparked everything. I don't really see it. And I don't know if that counts as a flaw necessarily. It is 100% amazing. However, moving on to book 2. And I just want to say right off the bat, it is pure bullshit that so many people are hating on this book. I understand the argument that it's forgettable because it's like the transition into the main series from book 1. But I think that's the flaw of book 1, not book 2. I think book 2 is absolute perfection. The best transition Christina Cowell could have ever written into making this a multiple book series. I think she did a flawless job. Moving forward, I'm gonna give way shorter synopsises because, you know, I want you to read the books yourself. I want you to experience the glory. So, book number 2 introduces the villain. Hiccup kills dragons in the books repeatedly, and dragons are like an issue very often, but they are never villains. They are just victims of a system that Hiccup cannot help. In this book, we meet the main villain, Alvin. I mean, every book that Alvin appears in, he appears in as a twist. It's like a spooky reveal that Alvin is still the villain. As a kid, I did not understand this. Every time I was equally shocked, I was like, oh my god, it's Alvin! I keep like going, oh, well, he's dead, I can't forget about him. So the twists really worked for me as a kid. I don't know if that's because I'm stupid or because the books are well written for kids. It is revealed later that he's instructed by his mom to be Hiccup's enemy, which we'll get into, but anyway, Hiccup and Alvin and Fishlegs and Toothless, they get stuck in a cave underwater. They meet a big slimy dragon. Hiccup goes, how about you help us get out? And the dragon's like, bitch, you're food. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat you. And Hiccup's like, fair. The dragon eats Alvin first. How about you eat me then? You know, what I just had a cool encounter with the big dragon. I just got eaten, and I'm quite interested in this. Let's hear it. How are you gonna eat me? And he's like, I'm just gonna put you in my mouth, dumbass. And he's like, that's so lame. Don't you have like poison to kill me or something? And the dragon's like, I do actually have poison. And he goes like, that's so cool. Oh my god, you should totally kill me with poison before you eat me. And the dragon's like, dude, totally. So he does, and because the dragon's so like, he doesn't see very well, he doesn't understand his own body very well. He has very, very low sensory perception. So the dragon stings himself with the poison. I wouldn't say he kills himself because it's not, but he dies anyway. And we're thought to believe, no, we're made to believe that Alvin dies in the cave with him. But bum ba bum, book 3. This one, I'm iffy about. They are training to be proper Vikings / pirates. And so they're boarding enemy ships. Hiccup and Fishlegs are all silly and board a Roman like expedition ship. And yeah, plot hole, maybe dragons exist, so maybe it's just an alternate reality, I think it's called. We love this. We are very happy about this because as a little nerd child, I was like, oh my god, yes, I love history, even though this is inaccurate history. But there are dragons. It's not supposed to be accurate. Not a lot of important stuff happens to Hiccup, but we are introduced to our third main human character. Her name is Kamikaze. Fishlegs does not like her, and I think it's jealousy because I am a firm believer in Hiccup and Fishlegs' love. I'm not shipping them because they're kids and that's weird. It feels so unimportant, and then I'm like, oh wait, but that's the book Kamikaze is introduced. It should feel more important. And also, why is she introduced in Rome? But why isn't she introduced on homeland? That would make more sense. I feel like we should be introduced to her tribe because her tribe is really cool. We never come back to Rome. Anyway, who does come back is Alvin. And Hiccup is like, what the fuck, bitch? You were eaten by a dragon who then got poisoned and died in the cave at the bottom of the ocean? How are you alive? And he's like, God loves me. And Hiccup's like, well, I don't love you. And he throws him off a cliff. So Alvin gets eaten by another dragon. And Hiccup's like, Fee, you finally got rid of that guy. And he won't come back in a later book, right? I don't even know if I would put it at amazing because Kamikaze is very far from my favorite character. I'll put it at good. Now we can move on to a short story. First short story written in 2006, How to Train Your Viking. It's written by Toothless, which is adorable. Usually the main book, they're like, okay, too much important stuff is happening, we're gonna take a break and do like a silly shenanigans that Hiccup and Toothless were getting up to. That's basically the whole book. And I appreciate it. It's like cute fandom content, but it's good. I'm putting it at good. It's nothing special. Now moving on to book 4, released also in 2006. First book I read, amazing. Oh, I love it. Do I say flawless? I think I say flawless. In English, the title is How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse, which is cute, poetic, we love it. In Swedish, it's How to Steal a Potato. So much better. I fucking love that title so much. Anyway, Alvin is not a villain in this book. We are introduced to Norbert the Nutjob. Love him. He is kooky, crazy bananas, and he's like, guys, I think the earth is round, and everyone's like, bullshit, get out of town, we don't want that crazy talk. And he's like, no guys, I swear it's true. My dad went on like a voyage or whatnot, an odyssey, and found this land we call America. And I really wished Christina Cowell called it Vinland. You know this manga? Oh my head. Vinland Saga. It's because the Viking actually, they did go to America, but they call it Vinland. And during this, there is an illness spreading within one of the main characters, and Hiccup sets out on a journey to find the cure. But then he finds out that the cure is a potato. And if you know your Swedish history, we didn't have potatoes in Sweden until the 1800s. So he's like, where are potatoes then? And Norbert is like, America. And Hiccup's like, I'm not going to America. Bitch, that's not real. The earth is flat. America doesn't exist. Stop being an idiot. And he's like, yes it is, because I have a potato from America. And Hiccup's like, shit, can I have that? And Norbert's like, no. And Hiccup's like, yoink. So Hiccup gets the potato. The day is saved. Everyone's happy. Especially me. This is... It's not my favorite, but it's up there. That's why we're doing a tier list and not an actual ranking. That would take even longer. Moving on. How to Twist a Dragon's Tail. I hated this book as a kid. Released 2007. I was like... because I had a weird crush on Hiccup. And Hiccup in this book has a weird crush on a like... He's not a villain or a main character, he's just a guy. And I'm like hella jealous as a kid. And it's funny because in the book, again, Fishlegs is very jealous. He's like, that's not a good guy. That's not a good guy for you. That's not, you shouldn't ooh and ah so much over him. And Hiccup's like, no, I don't believe you. He's too hot and muscular. And then the guy is like, dude, I was boning your mom. It's like, no! It's so funny, I'm sorry. I was supposed to bone your mom, but then this guy named Alvin told me not to. He fucked with the timeline. And Hiccup was like, wait, hold on, this is interesting. And now we are introduced to like a family history, faith, ancestry. The important thing is that the guy Hiccup has a crush on, like, Alvin first told him, don't impregnate Hiccup's mom, don't have a baby with her. That's bad for the future. That, like, that child is prophesized to be a bad boy. So he's like, yeah, sure. And then Hiccup gets born anyway, because, you know, fate and whatever, strings of life and whatnot. And then Alvin's like, oh shit, the prophesized end of the world has been born. Now you have to go kill the child of your ex-lover. And he's like, sure, right on. And then, you know, he meets Hiccup, Hiccup falls in love with him. Anyway, moving on. Book 6. A Hero's Guide to Deadly Dragons. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful book. A lot of other people think it's forgettable, mainly I think because people don't even know it's a part of the main series. It's his birthday book. He's a leap year baby. So he was born on February 29th, and last year was leap year, and it was also the year of the dragon. So I celebrated big time by reading that book a gazillion times. I usually celebrate by reading that book on his birthday, but you know, it's usually not his birthday. So we were having a good time, me and that book, so I am a little bit biased. I emailed the voice actor for the Swedish audiobooks, was also like missed that was a part of the main series, and I emailed him to be like, hey, can you please read this one too? He emailed me back and he was like, hey, I'm so happy you like the books, but like I need a contract to do that. I can't just do it for funsies because you asked me to. And I was like, fair, okay. I'm gonna put it in amazing because it's beautiful and it gets way too much hate. Moving on to book 7, released in 2008. Bing! How to Ride a Dragon Storm. Now we are back to Norbert the Nutjob, who is, I mean, I kind of like him more than Alvin, just because he's a more fun character. I love the plot with Alvin so much. I think he's a beautifully written character. I think the plot around him is flawless, but whenever there's a Norbert book, that's gonna be one of my favorite books, which this one is. I read this everywhere I went. The autism is strong for this book. If you paid attention, Norbert wants to go to America. He snatches up Hiccup because they're having a big swimming competition. So Hiccup's in the water and Norbert's like, oh, yoink, I'm gonna steal you and take you on my journey. He's actually gonna kill him, but Hiccup is like, do you even know how to read a compass? And Norbert's like, fuck, I don't. Good point. So Hiccup's like, I'll read the compass for you, so, you know, you keep me alive, I take you to America. I think it's interesting that Hiccup never has an existential crisis over the Earth being round, you know, because I feel like I would. If I was on a ship that would take me off the edge of the Earth, I think I would be scared falling off the edge, and then when I don't fall off the edge, I would be like, what's real? Are gods real? What? You know, I would be questioning everything, but Hiccup's kind of chill with it. Anyway, fucking love this book. Beautiful. Also, extremely important for the plot, because, spoiler warning, Hiccup gets slave marked, which means, you know how you mark cows with those hot iron rods? Boing, one in the forehead. Which is like, okay, there has been dark themes in the book. We have talked about slavery and cannibalism and outcasts and people not being accepted into society. We've talked about the dragons feeling like they're being treated as working animals instead of parts of society. Now is the first time we have a conversation with the slaves, the human slaves, because we've had conversation with the dragons a lot. And they're like, we're the native people of this land. Not America, but Sweden's / Norway's / Finland's native people, the Sami people. And they're like, we were just chilling, and then this fucker came and trapped us all, and it's very sad. There's a lot of generational trauma in these books, with the dragons, with the Vikings, and with the slaves, that they're like, your people have hurt my people, and therefore the hate is so rooted in me that I will not see any good in you. And that's what we see with the slaves. The boat, it's so close to getting to America, but they meet a big dragon. The dragon breaks the boat. Everyone's kind of left to drown in the ocean. But because Hiccup had this interaction with the slaves, with the Sami people, they leave, and Hiccup's like, well, fuck, yes, doing good for other people is kind of stupid because they just stab you in the back. But they don't. They come back and they stab him. I think the representation is done well. They are never actually called the Sami people. I don't even think they're called the native people. They're just called like the people of the north, which I think makes sense. As a Viking, you wouldn't call them natives because you would consider yourself equally native, but you also wouldn't call America if you were a Viking. But what we take away from this book is Hiccup has a goal to help slaves, to free them, to make sure that they thrive in society, to make sure their voice gets heard, and in doing so, he accidentally made himself a slave. You know, it wasn't like, I, Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, volunteer. Flawless, beautiful, I love it so much. Moving on to book number 8, How to Break a Dragon's Heart. This is where shit starts going down. Sorry, I turned into a fire alarm. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. This book is so good. Oh, it's so good. So, Fishlegs has an identity crisis. First, he tries to hit on a girl, which gets everyone into trouble because, like, my guy is a poet, not a lover. He thinks he's a romantic, but he's really not. He accidentally proposes to a princess, and the princess's dad is like, it's illegal. You're a filthy orphan. That's like a dishonor to my name, and I'm gonna kill you. And Hiccup was like, I'm not an orphan. I'm the son of a chief. I'm pretty highly respected, so it was me who wrote it. Don't kill my friend, please. And he's like, okay, I won't kill you, but if you propose to my daughter, you gotta commit, you know? So prove your loyalty to her by getting me some honey to make mead. It's very difficult. So they have to go on a journey, and while trying to get the honey, they get captured by a tribe of, I mean, people with very violent traditions, maybe. They have a dragon trapped in their forest, and they're calling it like the beast, and they're like romanticizing it, kind of. They're like doing storytelling around this dragon. And so they're like, oh, it's the full moon, we have to sacrifice people for the beast. And so Hiccup gets thrown into the sacrifice pile. Hiccup is in a little jail cell waiting to be sacrificed, and while he's tended by like one of the jail guards, turns out it's Alvin. And Hiccup's like, I thought you died again. And he's like, you know by now I'm unkillable. But you, however, you also seem to be unkillable. You bastard, child destined to kill everything and everyone. I don't want you running around doing that. My goal as a person, as a human being, is to stop you from bringing on the end of the world. You keep getting away. So I'm not happy with you being in this jail cell and then getting thrown to a dragon to be eaten, because you keep getting out of those situations. Instead, I'm gonna throw you in a tree. And Hiccup's like, I mean, bitch, you think a tree is stronger than a jail cell? Fucking idiot. So anyway, he gets tossed in a tree that's like hollowed out. By chance, that's the same tree that Alvin's mom is. His mom is a witch, and he's like, you are supposed to be dead. I specifically told my son to make sure you're never born. How are you not only born, but alive and also here with me right now? And Hiccup's like, fuck if I know. What are you talking about? Fate? I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, I'll tell you a little secret. there's a prophecy that says that you're gonna destroy the world, and I don't want that. I don't want you to destroy the world. I want my son to become king and save the world. And Hiccup's like, I'm not gonna kill the world. Your son is. Your son's a fucking madhouse. Your son's an idiot. Your son is not fit to be king. If anyone should be king, it should be me. I don't want to be king, to be clear, but if, you know, if that's my fate, if that's what the gods have in store for me, I guess that's what I gotta do. And the witch lady's like, but no, my son is supposed to be king. You're supposed to be dead. He escapes from the tree and he's like, hey, fuck, I guess I gotta become king now. And I guess like my entire fate has been set in stone to begin with. And this is also where he starts realizing that in every other book leading up to this one, which is so exciting and I love it so much. This book, flawless. Everyone loves it. Everyone agrees, I think. If you don't agree, fuck yourself. It's so good. It's... Anyway, so Hiccup escapes and he's like, wait, we can't escape. There's a dragon here who is being treated as some sort of mythical being and not as a human, so I'm gonna free him. The dragon's like, I fucking despise people. I hate human beings for chaining me and ruining my life. He has a very sad, tragic backstory, which I'm not going to tell you because it's spoilers. But the dragon's like, I have a very long history of hating people and of betrayal, and if you free me, that's not going to change that. And Hiccup's like, of course you are. You're a good person. You'll find the good in humanity, I swear. So he frees the dragon, and the dragon's like, I'm going to start a war. I'm going to end humanity. And Hiccup's like, fuck, maybe I am destined to destroy the world. Whoopsie. That's where the book ends, kind of. Hiccup is like, oh, whoops. You say what now? You're gonna kill all humans? It's so good. It's flawless, easy follow. In 2012, this short story was released, The Day of the Dreader. It is adorable. Look at this art of fish legs. How can you not love that? It's beautiful. Nothing important to say about this one. It doesn't take place within the chaos of book 8 through 12. We're gonna get to the movies once I'm done with the books, but just know that now the first movie has been released. Book number 9. Favorite book of the series, hands down, very easy. Because it's so good. Sorry. Gonna give you tinnitus. Book starts with Hiccup kind of like doing another test of manhood. Final exam, maybe you could call it. They're supposed to climb a mountain, reach a like sword fighting school, do a bit of sword training, and then boom, they are officially adults of the tribe. And Hiccup's like, I don't like this growing up and becoming an adult and becoming responsible, and also that guy who promised to kill humanity. Haven't heard from him in a while. That's kind of gnawing on my bones. Like, the timer has started, sort of. He knows that the dragons and the humans are gonna be at war now because the dragon he freed has gathered his troops. He's got a lot of dragons as allies against humanity in this war. Hiccup still has a chance right now to convince the dragons and humans to live in peace alongside each other by promising that if he becomes king, he will give the dragons like basic human rights. That's his goal, to become king before shit hits the fan. Does he succeed? No, sir. He's very close though. He has to dethrone his own father in a sword fight. Stoic is officially dethroned, which would make Hiccup the king. However, slave mark. They're like, you're a slave? Excuse me, that's against the rules. You're supposed to be with the outcasts. You're not human. You're a slave, you can't be king. You're not human. And Hiccup's like, fuck, shit. So now that's where the book ends. Moving on to book 10. When he got revealed to be a slave, he like fled the country basically. He did bring on the end of the world, and I dethroned my father. I told him his way of ruling was incorrect while failing to do better myself. He basically exiled himself both out of shame and out of necessity. But in book 10, he gets reunited with the people who loves him and the people he loved. Okay, anyway, let's get back on track. You know, let's wash our hands of the shit show that was book 9. Let's wrap this up. Let's finish this war. Is it flawless? Yes. Why? Because I think it handles everything perfectly. It's such a difficult situation to wrap up, and I think she does it beautifully. Also, in between book 11 and 10, this beautiful boy was released. It's more of like cool merch. It's basically like Hiccup's notebook, but like filled out with information. This is like just a notebook. You know, it's just a notebook with a few pages of art and stuff like that. They're merch. They're not really books. I'd put this one at flawless though. It's beautiful. Book 11 and 12, I kind of grouped together. The books take place over 48 hours. In book 9, the timer starts ticking of how much time Hiccup has before humanity is murdered. And in book 9, we saw him fail to end the war before it even started. The war has very much started, and he's just trying to end the war. He's not trying to prevent a war anymore. There is something that happens in book 11 that is too big of a spoiler for me to talk about. It does make it flawless. Book 11 I consider to be absolutely perfect just because of that spoiler thing. I feel like book 10 was a good wrap-up book. I don't need 2 more books to be wrap-up books. I wish there was more drama. I wish the drama that is there wasn't there. Book 12. It's too harsh to put it at good. I just disagree with almost everything that happens in it. It's beautiful. It brings me to tears. I expected better. Because my expectations are unreasonably high. It just feels too much of like, and then it ended. Yay. For 2 fat books. Like, she had so much time, I think, to wrap that up. And I think she wrapped it up great. In book 10, we could have moved on. That's a very controversial opinion though. So don't shoot me. That book was released in 2015. In 2024, the year of our Lord, this book was released. It's a short story collection with How to Train Your Viking and The Better, and a new short story called When the Windwalker Changes. I will be honest, I don't have the guts to read it yet because it's Hiccup being an adult. I know I'm gonna weep way too hard. I cannot get through that without David Tennant holding my hand, so I'm waiting for the audiobook because he has read the other short stories, including How to Train Your Hogfly, which I put a good because it's not bad, but I don't like the Hogfly. Don't hate me for this. When the Windwalker Changes gets a flawless because it's so beautiful, and what I've heard other people say, it's absolutely fantastic. I just don't have the balls. However, Cruising to Go, our Lord and Savior, have blessed us with a new book series called School of Dragons. And hold my hand when I say this. Because I mean that wholeheartedly. Do you understand how? No, you don't. 10 years. 10 years we've lived a lie of the books being over, and now she's like, guys, I'm I'm writing a new series. Kan vi kjøpe? Take a breath. In 2025, we are getting the continuation. Which means I am gonna have to read when the wind walker changes at some point, because I'm gonna have to deal with adult hiccup at some point. Oh, and I'm so excited, but I also... That's my ranking of the books. If you have complaints, don't complain to me. Complain to the comments down below. The movies. So, the funny thing. The first thing to ever be released are shorts that were released on Peacock Kids YouTube channel, February 2010. So that was the first movie content we ever got. And my god, it is hilarious.
Rough nut, tough nut, you're up. Lesson 4, the hideous sippleback. Sly, surprising, but certain noises can confuse it. Hey, don't push me.
I'll tell you what I want.
Other noises, however, just make it angry.
Come on, come on.
Brought to you by DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon.
There are 2 titles, Dragon Training and Racing for the Gold. I think it's just test animations that they wanted to put on YouTube because it was funny. Or, well, I think the training shorts are hilarious garbage, which puts them at good. Racing for Gold, I think that's just garbage. March 2010, a movie is released. The issues I have, I talked about when I talked about the first book. It's just the fact that, like, Hiccup in the books is so adamant about respecting dragons as human beings, while Hiccup in the movies are like, oh, little cat. The dragons can talk in the movies. They're not respected as humans by Hiccup or by anyone else. They are just pets, and that's great. They were killing humans, but then Hiccup said no, and everyone listened for some reason. The plot holes are humongous, but hey, we can't all be as good as the books now, can we? I think it's like, okay, well, it's a kids movie, it's fine. We don't have to explain how generational trauma actually works like the books do, because I don't think DreamWorks would greenlit that. I mean, they're almost like bees even. They're not even like cats. They always have like a hive queen that can contact them wherever they are for whatever reason. I mean, the reason is usually to procreate, but... anyway, movie 1 is absolutely beautiful. As a standalone movie, beautiful. As a representation of book 1, it's like, you kind of missed the whole point, but I see where the inspiration comes from, and I appreciate it. If they advertised it, I would have been happy, because then people would see the movie, be like, oh my god, there are books, and read books. That never happened. I think it's stupid, and I think it's stupider that they're following through with that in the live action movie, which is also coming out this summer, by the way. Expect a review. I will so happily, gladly review them side by side, the new book and the new movie, to compare. We love movie 1. It's kind of stupid in some ways. It doesn't really do a good job of honoring the books. I think it's beautiful enough on its own to justify its own existence. Legend of the Bone Napper. It was released in October of 2010. I think it was just as like a sign to be like, hey, there's more coming. I think it should have been an episode of the series, which we're gonna get into. I really enjoy Legend of the Bone Napper. I love Gobber in my heart. He, I think, is extremely book accurate, which I very much appreciate. Anyway, Legend of the Bone Napper is iconic. Didn't really have to be a spin-off, but we take what we can get. I'm still putting it in amazing. Moving on to my favorite special. It's so good. Unfortunately, brings up the same trope of the dragons are being called to procreate. Again, how often do they fucking need to procreate? I don't know. It introduces it as a plot point here, because I'm assuming you've seen the movies, but if you haven't seen the movies, Toothless is the only one of its kind. Toothless cannot go fuck with the others because there's only one Toothless, and also he's disabled, so he can't fly on his own. Hiccup makes a tail for Toothless to be able to fly on his own. Toothless is unfuckable. He is bitchless, so instead of going with the others to fuck, he uses his self-flying talent, or ability, I guess, to go find Hiccup's helmet because he lost it. And I think that's beautiful. It was released November 2011, like a nice little early Christmas gift. It's so heartwarming. I think it does a better job of introducing the whole concept of Toothless being unfuckable because there are no other dragons. Way better. Like, I think it could have been left to that. I think that it does a wonderful, fantastic job of exploring that. It does not have to be the plot of literally everything that comes after it. However, we don't always get what we ask for. Also in November of 2011, a short called Book of Dragons is released. I don't know if it was released in episodes or is one long thing. It's broken up into pieces on YouTube. I think I'm gonna put Book of Dragons in good too. Between 2012 and 2013, a show is running on Cartoon Network called Riders of Berk. We love this. It's very funny, a bit repetitive. Basically, the writers, by the way, consisting of Hiccup, Snotlout, Fishlegs, Roughnet and Toughnut, the twins, and his love interest Astrid. I like the show. It's nothing special. I put it in good. Season 2 of Defenders of Berk ran from 2013 to 2014. In June of 2014, movie 2 was released. So perfect timing. It's very rare that you go a year without any How to Train Your Dragon content being released, which I very much appreciate. Movie number 2. Movie 2 is very much like Hiccup reconnecting with his parents, which is what happens in book 10. Book 10 deals with it so much better. I don't like that they're forcing Hiccup to have responsibility and become a chief in this way, because in the books it's like, oh shit, it's Faith, oh shit, I'm gonna be the destroyer of worlds, I'm gonna be the saver of worlds, oh whoops, I was the destroyer of worlds, guess I gotta fix that now, whoopsies. You know, it's like actual lives on the line. In movie 2, it's just like Hiccup has to become an adult, but he doesn't want to. Spoilers, by the way. We have to kill his dad, so he becomes forced to take responsibility. Like, what does that even mean? Why are you doing that? In book 5, where it's introduced that, you know, how Hiccup came to be conceived. Obviously, Hiccup's mom is a big part of the plot, and her absence in Hiccup's life is further explained in book 10. I don't want to say too much because spoilers, but like, she's like, listen, I gotta go be a girl boss, and Stoic is like, I support you, and I love you, have fun. Hiccup's like, fuck you, I need a mother figure in my life, how dare you just leave me. In the movies, Hiccup's like, oh my god, mom, and she's like, ew, my child, sorry I left you to become a dragon hippie, I guess. I don't really know what she is.
This is where you've been for 20 years? You've been rescued. Unbelievable. You're not upset? What? No, I don't know. It's a bit much to get my head around, to be frank. It's not every day you find out your mother is some kind of crazy, feral, vigilante dragon lady.
She just left to hang out with dragons. Why? Never explained really. She just likes them. And anyway, same thing happens. They find like a big dragon hive with a big dragon queen. We need Hiccup to grow up. So why? I don't know. We just think he needs to grow up because that's what he needed to do in the books, I guess. So what do? We can't have a cool battle of Hiccup dethroning his own father. That doesn't work. That's too good for the movie. They don't deserve that much respect. So we're just gonna kill him. And it is sad. I mean, I do cry every time, but it's like, what? And then when he's reunited with his mom, he's not like, fuck you. How dare you leave me and my father? We love you. And you just went off to do your own shit. Instead, he's like, oh my god. Have a spine, Hiccup. Come on. It's not garbage. Or is it? It's forgettable, that's for sure. Sorry, movie fans. Sorry, movie lovers. I just disagree with everything they did in this movie. It's forgettable. You can kill me in the comments. In November of 2014, Dawn of the Dragon Racers was released. It's the adult versions of the characters alongside the teenage version of the characters, because half of the episode is them fighting over a race, and then half of it is them in a flashback. I think they had like old animation that they wanted to use as promotional material and they didn't have time, so they just threw in new animation with the new character designs and just kind of mushed it together, I think, because I don't really get it. It's not great. Is it garbage? Yeah. Race to the Edge. I'm gonna group all the 6 seasons together. It was from 2015 to 2018. For some reason, this is the show I'm the most nostalgic about, even though I was not really a kid anymore and I had read all the books by now. I had such fond memories of curling up in my bed and eating snacks during, like, anytime we had guests over and I needed to hide in my room. I say that like it was horrible. I just don't like loud noises. We had loud guests. I just hid in my room and I put on Race to the Edge and I ate my little snacks and I had a wonderful time. It's such a core part of my childhood. Is it any good? Yeah. Race to the Edge is like the things we learn about the world, and Race to the Edge is, this is a new island, this is a new dragon, this is a new character, this is a blah 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 blah. So much new shit being introduced in like every episode, which is fun. It like keeps things exciting. And the writers of Berk is like, they have to, they're way more limited because movie 2 hasn't come out. They haven't expanded the world yet, so they're just stuck on Berk, kind of. And I like that more because I feel like there's so much more plot. In Race of the Edge, it's like, oh, did you know this dragon existed? It's like, okay, well, I don't really care. But in Riders of Berk, it's like, oh, well, do you know the backstory of Doggo? He is such a fun character. Why isn't he in the movies? Why isn't he like a central part? I fuck so much more heavily with the shows than the movies, just to be clear. I'm putting Race to the Edge in amazing. It isn't flawless. It's very repetitive and it's very much... I wish they stopped expanding for a little bit and just worked with what they already have. The show ends, like I said, 2018. 2019, we get the 3rd movie. I'm gonna puke just thinking about it. We know Tasteless is a virgin, okay? We know he doesn't get bitches. We don't care. I'm sorry, we don't care. We don't need to change the literal laws of biology to give him a girlfriend. We don't need to do that. But why is Toothless horny? Riddle me that. DreamWorks, why does he need a partner to begin with? Why is that important? So dumb. I hate it. I understand that they're trying to be like, oh, well, Toothless needs to learn his independence. He did that in 2011 in November when he got his own tail. What is this bullshit? What is this crap that I am saying. Toothless is the only Night Fury. He's the only one that exists in the world. And now last movie, you're gonna go, no. There's another one. But maybe it's a different species, we don't know. Because it's the Light Fury and not the Night Fury. Is she a different species? Or is she just a different color? Is she albino? What is she? Who is she? Why is she here? Why do we need a movie with her? I disagree. Garbage. If you like this movie, sorry, it's garbage. Does it have a beautiful ending? No. No, it doesn't. They stole the last line from the book to try to force in the plot to make it work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you're gonna start making your own franchise with the movies, make it your own. Don't forcefully like make it fit the plot of the books. You've deviated so far from the route of what Hiccup initially wanted. It's pointless to try. Like, the ending of the books is Hiccup ending a race war which he accidentally caused himself. The ending of the movies is Toothless getting a girlfriend, and you're gonna say the same line pretending I care. Bitch, I don't care. My lungs. In December of 2019, we get 2 Christmas specials. One of them is just, you know those videos of a log burning that you put on in the living room when you don't have an open fire, but you want it to feel cozy? It's that. I fuck heavily with the music, so I'm putting it in good because it's very nice. Should put it in forgettable, but I do remember it, so it's not forgettable. That's it. We also got a short called Homecoming, which is about it's 10 years after the dragons left, and Gobber is extremely gay for Stoic in this one, which I love to see. I love the spin-offs that are Gobber focused. They usually are, and I fuck with that heavily because who else are you gonna care about in this universe? Fucking fish lights? This is where all my gripes come in with me hating his children, me hating Toothless's children, me hating literally almost everything. The only thing I love is Gobber, and that's been the case for all of the movies. I'm putting that in garbage because I hate it. I love Gobber. I would put Gobber in Flawless and the rest of the show in garbage, but sorry. You don't make it that far. Gobber, I love you, but you're not like good. December of 2021, we were cursed with the production of 9 Realms, which is a spin-off series of Hiccup's, like, a few generations down, befriending Toothless's children. It's called 9 Realms as a reference to Norse mythology. Do I love that? Yes. Do I love the show? Absolutely not. Because it's built on the very premise of Toothless having a girlfriend, which I will just never accept. This is gonna burn my soul. I don't want to subject myself to that. They have, I think, 2 spin-offs and a Christmas special, which is like, and they have 8 seasons since 2021. You can imagine how rushed this is and how low budget this is. Am I pissed about it? Yes. Am I pissed about its existence in itself? Not really. I'm just pissed that, like, we have so much budget and time and animation and, like, people working. Why aren't we making book accurate? Like, if we got an 8-season show about just the books, an accurate representation of the books, so good, literally perfection. To be completely honest, as a kid, if I saw that on Netflix, I would have been like, ooh, funny. But it's fucking iPad kid content, and I don't appreciate them capitalizing off of stupid children. As someone who was once an autistic little baby, I would have fucking eaten that up. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just sad to see how much, like, time we could have had. Like, imagine all the screen time we could have had if it was a book accurate adaptation. Because a lot of people go, you wouldn't have time to explain all of the book's plot in a movie. And I agree. I don't think the movies do a good job of explaining their own plot in the movies. I think the shows are a lot better. But we have so many shows. We don't need that many shows. We have so many spin-offs. We don't need that many spin-offs. One of them. Just one. Just one. Please DreamWorks. Please Cartoon Network. Please Netflix. Whoever is sponsoring the show at this point, just consider my request, please. Or consider the request of like all of the fandom. Okay, big media is over. Now we're gonna do lightning round. There's a comic I've never read. The cover looks cool though. Now I don't know where to get the comic officially. I don't like to pirate shit. I'm putting that in good because it looks like something that would be like in Writers of Berk episodes. There's a theme park in Germany which I want to go to so bad. Flawless. I love it. Well, I'm putting it in amazing because all the rides look way too small to fit adults, and also the park itself has like maybe 5 rides at most. It needs to be bigger, but I love it so much. Thank you for making this. The live action, it obviously hasn't come out yet, so I can't judge it. But there were screen productions, actual live action productions, which go in flawless because look at those dragons. Look at those dragons. Those puppets look a gazillion times better, in my opinion, than what we saw in the trailer that they're gonna look in the live action movie. There were cards, collector cards, unfortunately not a card game, which is my only flaw with it, or my only gripe with it. It would have been flawless if there was a card game, even if the card game sucked ass. Even if it was just like, my dragon has 10 points, your dragon has 9 points, my dragon wins. You know, even if it was just that, I would have loved it. For now, they're going in amazing. Moving on to Christina Cowell's media. She has Instagram and shit like that that's not very book focused. Her YouTube though, beautiful. She does live readings, she does like behind the scenes content. She does a lot of just like sitting down and talking to the camera, which is beautiful. And I love every time she meets people, she's like, hey, just pirate the books. Pirate the audiobooks on YouTube, dude. They're free. Don't pay for them. Yes! Yes, Queen Pop-Up! I love her. I love her. Her YouTube, flawless. The old website, I would put in flawless if it wasn't taken down. Dragons Titan Uprising is just a Connect 3, you know, gem game. Dragons Rise of Berk is a village building game. Toothless was featured in the DreamWorks version of Mario Kart, which is absolutely hilarious, seeing Toothless drive in a go-kart. I'm putting all of these bitches in garbage. Sorry. Everyone except School of Dragons. It used to be great. When I played it, they've updated it so much. I don't like it anymore. It might just be nostalgia. Sorry for being biased, but I'm putting it in good. Because I did love it as a kid. Don't love it anymore though. Bonus run over. Thank you for listening. You have no idea how much this means to me. Like, not just you listening to me ramble, but you listen to me ramble about my special interests, my books. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I hope and I pray and I beg that you go and read the books for yourself. I know I spoiled a lot. I didn't spoil like half of it. I just gave you the like brief what the books are about. I think it's better to go in completely blind, to be honest. I like when people don't know that slavery is mentioned and then they get to book 7 and they're like, what? Excuse me? I know the books are dark, but like, what? It's beautiful. I love to see it. And I'm sorry I took that joy away from you, but you can read them for yourself, see all the glory, and then you can recommend it to your friends and they can be like, there's slavery in these books? These kids' books? What? It's a beautiful experience and I recommend it. And also, the big selling point of David Tennant being the reader of the audiobooks. Highly, highly, highly recommend. They are linked down below. These are my Bible. I am a missionary. What can I say? I can't even lie. I'm knocking on your door. I'm going, have you heard of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you are watching this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always remember that you are loved, and you're especially loved by me because you watched this, like, what, 5-hour long video?